Ulit ko po, Madam Chair, na hindi dapat talaga natin ilabas yung ITR ni Attorney Mans Carpio dito sa hearing natin ngayon.
Matindi po ang pagsubok ng pamilyang Duterte sa mga panahong ito. Kagahapon nasaksihan po natin, double demolition job ang nangyayari sa mga Duterte. Una na po riyan, ang desisyon ng jurisdiction ng International Criminal Court sa kaso ni former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ayon naman po kay Kitty Duterte, hindi po magpapatinag ang mga Duterte sa kung anuman ang kanilang naranasang mga pagsubok ngayon at paninira sa kanilang pamilya. Pangalawa, yung impeachment. Sarswilang impeachment kagahapon dyan sa Kamara. Kung napansin po ninyo, merong box na hawak itong si Jenky Luestro. Anak ng kamote yun. Ito po ay income tax return ng asawa ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. At yung AMLAC, inilabas din ang di umanong mga panlilinlang na mga numero ng mga transaksyonis umano ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte na bilyon-bilyon daw. Pero hindi po yan ang totoong laman ng bank account ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Kasi labas-pasok nga yung transaction, withdrawal at saka deposit in and out ng pera sa inyong account. Kaso nga lang, siyempre, kasabot ang mga bubunisang tanganis ng mga mainstream medyang bayad, binigyan ho nila ng kulay. No, pero hindi po, walang katotohanan po yung mga kanilang mga paratang. Dahil sa ginawa ho nila dyan, sa mga accounts ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, at mga impormasyon na gusto nilang ilabas, itong AMLAC Executive at si Luestro, ayon po sa mga eksperto, ay posibleng makulong ng 8 taon. Patay ka, Luestro! Bakit makukulong? Bago riyan, magandang tanghali po muna sa ating lahat. Pa-like, pa-share, pa-subscribe at pakipindot po ang inyong mga notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa ating mga video. Bisdak Historiador, pangalawang YouTube channel ko, pa-subscribe. Takot na takot ang Kamara na bubuksan ang box galing sa VIR. Ito po ay income tax ni Mans Carpio. Kung binuksan po nila yan, paniguradong babagsak ang mga hinayupak. Ngayon, mukhang makukulong pang mga animal para sa akin. Dahil pinakailaman isinapubliko ng AMLAC ang mga bank transaksyon ni Vice President Inday Sara. Iyan po ay ipinagbabawal sa saligang batas. At pwede po kayong makulong ng 8 taon at pagmulta ng kalahating milyon. 500,000, no? Yung mababa lang multa animal. No? Pero may kulong 8 taon. Sana may magsampa ng kaso po dito sa Kamara at dito sa baboy na AMLAC Executive Director na nagpagamit naman ho sa mga buhaya dyan sa Kongreso. Okay. So unahin po muna natin, chill po muna tayo tungkol po kay Vice President, tungkol kay former President Duterte dyan sa International Criminal Court. Hindi po kinatigan ang apila ng kampo ni former President Duterte patungkol ho dito sa jurisdiction. So inaasahan na po natin, sinabi na po natin yan, na wala po tayong pwedeng asahan dito. Hindi po tayo mag-expect nakakatig yung kangaroo court sa atin. Pakinggan lang muna natin kaunti ito.
The appeal chamber by majority, as a conclusion, Judge Roque Panice, partially dissenting in the second ground, has rejected all 4 grounds of appeal. Having rejected the entire appeal, the appeals chamber considers that the defense request for the immediate and unconditional release of Mr. Duterte is moot. In the appeal pursuant to Article 82(1)(a) of the statute, the appeals chamber may confirm, reverse, or amend the decision appealed. In the present case, the appeals chamber by majority confirms the impugned decision. Judge Lorquipanisse appends a partially dissenting opinion. This brings us to the end of the summary of the appeals chamber's judgment of today.
Ayan na po yung desisyon ng Kangaroo Court dyan sa International Criminal Court. Wala po tayong inaasahang positibo na papabor sa atin. Bayad ng animal na yan. No? Binayaran na yan ni Bangag, lutong-luto na yan. So, sabi naman ho ni Nicholas Kaufman, kay Tatay Digong, wag masyadong umasa sa mga desisyon ng ICC dahil ito lamang ay alam na ho natin, politically motivated. Pero may chance pa ba si Vice President si former President Duterte na makalaya? Marami pong chances yan. Unang-unang chance ay magbago ang administrasyong ito. Kailangan po ay si Inday Sara maging presidente. Dahil ang presidente lamang ng Pilipinas ang makapagpauwi dyan. Pero sa ngayon, malabong malabo. Kapit lang Tatay Diggs, kayang-kaya mo yan. Pakinggan natin si Attorney Kaufman.
Well, I'm sorry to say that we weren't really surprised about today's decision. I was even hinting at it yesterday. When I met the former president, I said, don't build up your hopes, and he was stoical. And the reason why I said that was because, you know, the court is at the present moment in time in existential crisis, what with the threat of sanctions from the United States. It's got a chief prosecutor who's currently embattled and embroiled in allegations of sexual misconduct. He's trying to fight his way back to this court, and half his own office don't want him back here. And what would the practical effect of this decision today have been if it had gone our way? Essentially, it would have voided the court's docket. There would have been nothing left for this court to do, apart from the case of some insignificant human trafficker from Libya. The former president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, is the big catch of this court, and it was never really my impression that they would let him go that easily. Of course, we also have the confirmation decision coming up in the next few days. Once again, I'm looking forward to the future. We hope that all the weaknesses that we identified at confirmation will be the very same weaknesses that lead ultimately to the former president's acquittal, and that he will return home soon to the Philippines, where he is so loved by all of you.
Yes. Attorney Nick, so is the former president already made aware of the decision of the appeals chamber?
I'm about to go and tell him now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will see him tomorrow with the decision. Although I'm not so sure that he will take too much interest in it. It's hard for him to concentrate these days. Don't forget, he's an elderly gentleman. He's 81 years old. You celebrated his birthday so fantastically with such a show of love and flowers.
Do you think the confirmation of charges will happen before Tuesday?
Well, it could very well. Yes, it could very well happen in the very, very near future, even tomorrow, now that jurisdiction has been settled. And I say jurisdiction has been settled because that's the end of the road as far as the appeal is concerned.
Attorney Kaufman, did you expect that the appeals chamber would junk all four grounds that you have laid out?
They didn't junk all four grounds. There was a judge who sided with us, so it was predictable what was going to happen.
But he was outvoted.
Well, yes, I bet that's the way the thing goes, isn't it? You know, 4-1. All right, and they didn't junk all grounds. They chose not to deal with one of the grounds of appeal, which was actually the strongest ground of appeal, and then the most bizarre aspect of the pre-trial chamber's decision, in our opinion. So another thing is junk. It's like a kind of slang that I'm not accustomed to use. The defense makes arguments on appeal, and the court chooses to disregard them or to reject them.
And
okay?
how does this kind
junk
of
stuff.
and how does this kind of decision affect your optimism with regard to the decision for the confirmation of charges?
Well, I think if there's one thing you know about Attorney Nick Kaufman, is that I'm a very optimistic guy, and as I said, we made many persuasive arguments at confirmation. I believe that at the end of the day, the arguments that we made at confirmation, the evidentiary weaknesses that we identified will be those very weaknesses that lead to his ultimate acquittal.
Given that you're Nicholas Kaufman, I do know that you already have a plan B, if not a plan C in place.
I have a plan X.
Can you give us several details of those plan Bs and Cs?
To fight hardest we can for the former president of the Philippines, who we all respect.
Attorney Nick, on
The
a,
most popular president ever in the history of the Philippines.
Attorney Nick, on a different matter, there's an NGO who actually brought the situation of the former president before the United Nations Human Rights Council. Will that have a bit of an effect, if not direct or indirect effect, to the case of the former president?
I'm not so sure that the court here in The Hague really takes too much notice of what's going on in The Hague, as much as any petition which is brought to support the former president is welcome.
About the flowers, the birthday. Filipinos sent a lot of flowers, and with that is this included with the small towns.
We will ensure that the family gets every message of support, and we've been religious in that
I
matter.
have it up in my.
Please do deliver it to us,
Can I
and
have-
I can show you, and I can tell you that the family
Yes, I can
is
give it to you.
logging every letter of support, every gift that is given is logged,
Yeah.
and we will personally reply
can
in due
forward the
course.
box to you?
By all means, please do,
Thank you so
and we
much.
will ensure that it gets to the right destination. Thank you
Attorney
ever so
Kaufman-
much for your support.
Attorney Kaufman-
On behalf of the family, on behalf of the former president,
Yes.
truly touched by this.
Attorney Kaufman, have you already finalized your negotiations with the Duterte family? If you will still be on
At the
board
present moment in
with them?
time, I will continue to represent the former president with pleasure, and it's a privilege for me. It's a privilege for all of us.
Thank you, Attorney Nick.
Thank you.
Mabuhay ka,
Have a
Attorney.
good day.
You too.
Result the attorney, eh? Goed gedaan, hoor.
Thank you, Attorney.
Mukhang may pag-asa talaga tayo dito. Magaling itong si Kaufman. Sana po, ito kasi ano pa lang, parang pre-trial chamber pa lang po yan. So magkaroon pa ng confirmation of charges. So yung jurisdiction tapos na. So sinabi na po ng ICC, may jurisdiction sila. Kaya nga, ang kuminto ko nga ho dyan dapat yung jurisdiction patungkol sa International Criminal Court, dito yan sa Pilipinas na resolba nung hindi pa kinidnap si Tatay Digong. Dapat pinatikim muna talaga ng regional trial court, local court, si Tatay Digong para doon doon magdiskusyon, doon maglaban-laban, legal battle. Pero hindi po yan ginawad kay former President Duterte. Kaya nga ho, ang determinasyon natin dyan, ang ginagamit ni Vice President Inday Sara sa pag-gago kay Tatay Digong ay kinidnap nga ho ng gobyernong Marcos. So, sabi ni Kaufman, may pag-asa pa kung pagkatapos ng confirmation charges, magkaroon na talaga ng trial, yung mga witnesses, kung yun pa rin po yung ilalabas nila, o talagang may chance na manalo tayo sa kaso dyan sa International Criminal Court. So, laban lang para sa bayan. Ang tanong, natitinag ba ang pamilyang Duterte? Ang sabi po ng kanyang anak na si Katie Duterte, hindi po magpapatinag at hindi natitinag si Tatay Digong at ang kanilang pamilya. Pakinggan po natin si Miss Katie Duterte.
Mayong adlaw, I will not be answering any questions for today, but I will be relaying a message. So, the day he was flown to The Hague, I sent my papa on his Viber what I posted on social media that day. It said, I will forever walk with pride, knowing that I am your daughter, your blood. The strength you raised me with will go untamed. I will stand by the promise I made you today. I love you. And dare I say, it did go untamed. No? There is nothing and no one on this earth I will not face for my family, for my papa. For me to be able to love this fearlessly at such a young age speaks volumes on how Rodrigo Roa Duterte raised me. Do not be fools and think he will die with his body. His fire burns in the bluest of blue through Congressman Pulong Duterte, Vice President Sara Duterte, Mayor Baste Duterte, and through me, was nobody yet but Justice Kitty. Would also like to say na he's strong as ever, strong still, while his body might become frail, spirit as breakable as always. Wala eh. I didn't really discuss what happened today, but I asked him lang, what do you feel? What do you think? What do you want them to know? Invictus, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate or how charged with punishments the scroll. And he did tell me to emphasize this part. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So, he will live longer than you think. His immortality will be seen on the minds and in the hearts of every Filipino he has saved, and very long after that through his every descendant. So, if you've noticed, the strongest and most controversial personalities are always either to love or to hate. So remember this, no matter how much you hate PRRD, there will always be someone, no scratch that, there will always be millions who love him just as much or even more.
Yes.
If you think you will win, no, you will not, because either way, Invictus. Thank you.
Thank you, Kit.
Invictus, emotional si Katie Duterte. Invictus, hindi matitinag, hindi magpapatinag, hindi magpapagapi, hindi luluhod ang pamilyang Duterte. Ito po yung, alam mo, maganda talaga suportahan ng mga Duterte. Hindi po sila sumusuko. Kahit ginigipit sila ng todo, ang daming pahirap sa kanila, pasakit, pero nakatayo pa rin po sila, hindi po sila kumakambyo. Nanatili pa rin po yung kanilang prinsipyo. Unique itong pamilyang Duterte. Para po sa akin, mga Duterte lamang ho ang mga politikong may paninindigan na kahit ginigipit, ay tuloy pa rin ang kanilang paninindigan para sa bayan. Hindi magpapatinag. Kaya siguro si Vice President Inday Sara ay nag-request po, matagal na pong request yan na pumunta diyan sa Dahik, humingi ng travel authority. Kaso nga lang, yung binigay na travel authority ay last minute daw, sabi ni Vice President Inday Sara. Ayan po yung travel authority na ibinigay kay Vice President Inday Sara. Ang purpose nito, mga Talyanista, Tanganista, hindi para takasan, Inday Sara, yung impeachment na sarswela ng mga buhaya. Tandaan ninyo, wala pang kaso si Inday Sara, mga buang, Ang purpose nito, malamang para po kay former President Duterte. Pupunta po sa Dahik si Inday Sara. Ala ka naman hindi pupunta, anak ng kamote. Tatay niya ginagago ninyo Tapos bawal ba puntahan yung tatay? Pinadala nyo sa Dahik Iuwi nyo dito sa Pilipinas para hindi na mag-travel si Inday Sara. Kasi binaba si Inday Sara, ayan, natatakas na ulul. Kailanman ang mga Duterte hindi tatakas. Alam mo kung sinong tumatakas? Si Bangag. Pamilyang mga Marcos, mga tumatakas sa kanilang mga irresponsibilidad o mga pagnanakaw sa kabanang bayan. Di ba? Sila, nasa Hawaii, tumakas. Nung na people power, nagsilayasan ng mga animal O, ayan po yung travel authority ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. Binigay po ito ng Office of the President, Travel Authority, papuntang Netherlands, at meron din kaganapan sa Republic of Korea, Belgium, Germany, United Kingdom, Great Britain, at Northern Ireland. Ito ay simula po April 23. Ngayon na po, 23, hanggang po ito, May 15. Yan po yung travel na authority ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte. So, para yan sa kay Tatay Digong. Pero ito, meron pong official na statement ang Office of the Vice President. Ang sabi po nila, ito basahin ko na lang po. Mantakin mo yung travel authority binigay pala kay Inday Sara last minute. Anak na kamuti talaga. Tiniming nila na pagkatapos ng ng impeachment hearing para sabihin, tataka sa Inday, animal talaga. Oh. Sabi po ng Office of the Office of the Vice President, ito ay para sa kay Bangag. Thank you for the last minute issuance of the Travel Authority. I regret to inform you that the plans have since changed due to uncertainty as to whether I will be permitted to depart. You will be receiving a new request soon. Please ensure that the necessary documents be processed and issued promptly, allowing sufficient time for travel preparation rather than only a few hours before the intended departure. Additionally, ensuring the confidentiality and proper handling or sensitive documents would greatly contribute to maintaining effective security arrangement. God save the Philippines, Vice President Inday Sara. Utsakin na, ginigipit talaga si Inday Sara. Last minute, no? Ibinigay yung Travel Authority after ng impeachment, anak ng kagwang kabangag. Samantala si Bangag, lamyerda kasama si Baki. Umaabang ng anak ng kamuti ng private jet. Mahalang langis, pero naglamyerda, naglimas sa kaban ng bayan. Ito, pag-usapan natin dito yung impeachment labang kay Inday Sara. Posible nga ba makulong itong si Leandro? Itong si Luistro. Din kasi, taga Batangas din eh. Si Luistro ng Committee on Justice daan sa Kamara at itong Baboy Ramo. Baboy Ramo na Executive Director ng AMLAC. Kasi nga, marami po silang isiniwalat ng mga bank records ni Vice President Inday Sara, mga confidential na hindi dapat ipalabas. Lalo na yung mga transactions. At lalo na po yung ITR, income tax return ni Mans Carpio, na talagang dali po sila dito kung binuksan nila kagahapon diyan sa kanilang sarswilang impeachment hearing. Mini trial na po yan eh. Dapat walang ganyan eh. Ito, nakita po yun yung box. Yan po yung box na kinakatakutan ng mga buhaya. Hindi pa, sana binuksan nyo na lang. No? Para magkaalaman ng makulong kayong lahat. Ito, panoorin natin.
Ulit ko po, Madam Chair, na hindi dapat talaga natin ilabas yung ITR ni Attorney Mans Carpio dito sa hearing natin ngayon.
Patay.
Madam Chair.
May I ask first the BIR Commissioner if indeed the Justice Committee has no authority to open this box, then when?
Lol, sana binuksan mo na lang kung matapang-tapang kang nagkakanlong ng rapist niyang asawa. Sana binuksan mo na lang at para malaman natin yung angas ninyo. Pero nagbabala yung BIR. Bawal po yan buksan dito sa hearing na ito kasi si Mans Carpio hindi po yan public official, hindi government official yan. Yari kayo. Sige nga, anak ng kagong sarap sampalin tong inayupak na Luistro.
When will be the right time to see the contents of this box?
Actually, Madam Chair, when we submitted the documents subject of the subpoena to the House Committee on Justice, we are very much aware as well of the requirement that the same should be in aid of legislation. And
Louder,
our
Commissioner, please.
And our premise, when we submitted the documents, is that the proceedings of the committee is also in aid of legislation, given the plenary power of Congress to legislate. This is just my opinion, Madam Chair. Whatever that may be discussed here could possibly the basis of a possible amendment of, for example, the Bank Secrecy Law or of the tax code itself. And so again, Madam Chair, yes, we are aware that when we submit the documents, it must be in aid of legislation. Our premise when we submitted the documents is that this proceeding is also in aid of legislation. Now, applying what the law expressly says, it can only be examined if the two requisites concord in aid of legislation and in an executive session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
But this is not an inquiry in aid of legislation. As clearly pointed out by the members, this is entirely different proceeding. This is an impeachment proceeding.
If that is the case,
Madam Chair,
then Section 20A will not apply.
What is Section 20?
The submission of pertinent information by the Commissioner to Congress.
That is an
Sige.
exception.
That is an exception, Madam Chair.
Sige, pabuksan nyo dyan sa kamara nang makulong kayong lahat. Kasama kayong mga BIR official. Pati yung mataba na BIR mukhang tangin na pag binuksan, patay tayong lahat dito. Saba binuksan, anak ng kamote, oh.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable
Madam Chair.
Terry Ridon.
Madam Chair, I'd like to state that Section 20, which is being stated, no? Can you state it for the record, Honorable Commissioner, please? The provision again. Can you state it again for the record, please?
That is Section 20 NIRC.
Yes, Section 20 NIRC.
Can we flash it?
Submission to Congress.
Secretariat. Section 20 NIRC.
Utangin ng Ridon na yan, ha? Adik ba din yan? Bakit yung ngumingiwi din, ha? Umingid na to. Utangin na, yan ang sinasabi ko sa inyo, eh. Nagsama-sama ng mga bangag. Adictus, binidictus din yung hinayupak, ha? Yan ay manirisim, ha? Umingiwi din. Putangin, nakakusa ni bangag. Kaya pala, eh. Ridon, magpa-hair follicle drug test ka rin. Kagaya ng inutos ngayon ng Supreme Court kay Bangag na dapat sumagot kayo sa hair follicle drug test medical bullying. Tangin naman talaga nahuli na natin itong mga animal, mga addictus. Kumikindat putak.
Please read it for the record, please. Restate it
Buksan
again.
nyo.
Section 20, letter A, submission of pertinent information to Congress. The provision of Section 270 of this code, to the contrary notwithstanding, the Commissioner shall, upon request of Congress and in aid of legislation, furnish its appropriate committee pertinent information, including but not limited to industry audits, collection performance data, status reports and criminal actions initiated against persons, and taxpayers' returns. Provided, however, that any return or return information which can be associated with or otherwise identify, directly or indirectly, a particular taxpayer shall be furnished the appropriate committee of Congress only when sitting in executive session unless such taxpayer otherwise consents in writing to such disclosure.
Thank you for restating the provision. I'd like to state for the record that the subpoena given to the BIR, Madam Chair, is not a request. It is part of a compulsory process in which the BIR
Putangin na, ang daming sat-sat. Buksan nyo. Nang magkalaman yung yabang ninyo.
complied. So my question to BIR is whether or not this particular provision actually applies to this particular submission to the impeachment proceeding. Because we are not requesting anything from the Commission. We are requiring under compulsory processes of impeachment rules for the BIR to actually submit these documents of the Vice President, of Attorney Carpio, and their firms to Congress. And second point, to be clear, when the Commission actually submits it to Congress, the penalty is not on members of Congress, no? The penalty is on BIR officers, employees, no? When they make a divulgence, is that correct? So in the event that the documents are actually submitted and ultimately unsealed by this committee during impeachment proceedings, what criminal offense actually exists on a BIR officials when the persons that will actually unseal and look into the documents will not be the BIR, it will be the members of this committee. Madam Chair.
I find it strange, really, no?
Madam Chair.
Parang you are so near yet you're so far.
Madam
The BIR apparently complied with the subpoena by bringing to us the sealed box. But because of that issue of confidentiality, we cannot open the box.
Madam Chair.
Buksan nyo kung matatapang kayong mga animal kayo para malaman natin kung sino ang tama. Itakot din pala itong mga buhayang ito makulong eh. Kasi nga, kung binuksan po nila itong anak ng kagwang, yung box na yan, income tax return ni Manscarpio, Data Privacy Act, dali kayo dyan. Pero meron pa kayong kakaharapin na problema dahil sa ginawa ho ng AMLAC at ng House Committee on Justice ni Luestro na paglathala ng mga transaksyones sa bangko, transaction in Daysara, na ito ay ginagamit na black propaganda ng mga mainstream media, no, mga kalaban ng mga Duterte, na di umano'y bilyon-bilyon na transaksyon. Nanlilin lang pa sa account. Alam niyo po ba, na itong ginawa ni Luestro at ng AMLAC, ito po yung AMLAC, animal kang baboy ka, oh. AMLAC appoints Buenaventura as Executive Director. Itong si Buenaventura, tanggalin na natin to, in-appoint ni Bangag kasi para makita rin si Luestro, ay posible po silang makulong ng 8 taon dahil sa kanilang ginagawang paglabag. Ayon po sa mga eksperto, ito po yung nilalabag nila, no? Ito na batas. Section 4E, new Section A-A is hereby inserted after Section 8, Creation of Secretariat of Republic Act number 9160 as amended to read as follows. Section 8-A, Information Security and Confidentiality. Makinig ka, AMLAC, anak ng kamuti ka, makulong kang animal ka. Information Security and Confidentiality, the AMLAC and its Secretariat shall securely protect information received or processed and shall not reveal in any manner any information known to them by reason of their office. This prohibition shall apply even after their separation from the AMLAC. The AMLAC shall formulate the rules governing information, exchange, and dissemination, the security and confidentiality of such information, including procedures for handling storage and protection of as well as access to such information. So yung ITR, no, posible po, no, magpabagsak sa kanila kung binuksan. Pero ang isa sa mga nakita ko dito, yung bank records na ginawa ng AMLAC, dito sila madadali sa batas na yan. Ayon po kay Ritzy Angele Rizada Nolasco. So ito na po yung ito na po yung mga legal, mga expert pagdating dito. Basahin ko po. Ito tinagalog na po, translated na sa Tagalog para mas maintindihan natin kung bakit pwedeng makulong ng 8 taon si Luestro pati yung AMLAC Executive Director na inappoint ni Bangag. Ito. May mga legal na pananggalang sa ating mga batas nang nagprotekta sa sensitibong impormasyong pinansyal at umiiral ang mga pananggalang na ito dahil sa mahalagang dahilan. Sa ilalim ng Anti-Money Laundering Act na inamindahan ng Section 8A ng malinaw na isinasaad ng batas. Makinig kayo, mga bubonistang talyanista, nang may malaman kayo. Ang AMLAC at ang sekretariat nito ay dapat naligtas na pangalagaan ang impormasyong natanggap o nagproseso at hindi dapat magbunyag sa anumang paraan ng anumang impormasyong nalaman nila dahil sa kanilang tungkulin. Lalo pang pinagtibay ng Kongreso ang obligadong pagiging confidential ng tungkuling ito sa pamamagitan ng paglalagay ng kaparusahan kapag ito ay nalabag. Ang Section 14D na inamindahan ay nagsasaad. Putang ina. Kayo rin pala ang gumawa ng batas ito, mga buhaya kayo. So kayo rin ang makulong. Section 14, mga probisyong pinal. Paglabag sa seguridad ng impormasyon at pagiging confidential, ang parusang pagkakulong mula sa 3 hanggang 8 taon. At multang hindi bababa sa 500,000 piso. Ngunit hindi higit sa 1,000,000 piso. Ay ipapataw sa sinumang magpapatunay ang mapapatunayang lumabag sa Section 9C o Section 8-A hinggil sa seguridad ng impormasyon at pagiging confidential sa ilalim ng batas na ito. Kung ang lumabag ay isang opisyal o empleyado ng pamahalaan, bukod sa mga parusang nakasaad dito, siya ay papatawan din ng parusang panghabang buhay o pansamantalang ganap na diskwalifikasyon sa paghawak ng pampublikong tungkulin ayon sa nararapat. Utang ina, magbumirang pala ito. Kayo yung hindi na pwedeng tumakbo pa sa kahit anong posisyon sa gobyerno. Ito na, Luistro, magbumirang na kayo dito. Ang Section 9C ng AMLA na inamyendahan ay nagsasaad na ang mga saklaw na institusyon at ang kanilang mga opisyal at empleyado ay ipinagbabawal na ipaalam, direkta man o hindi direkta, sa mga naisumiting covered transaction report o suspicious transaction report. Patay kang AMLA ka, patay kang baboy ka. Ito yung ginawa ho ninyo sa Committee on Justice. Ang nilalaman nito ay anumang iba pang impormasyon may kaugnayan dito. Ang batas ay nakaayos din upang ang pag-access ng protektadong impormasyong bangko ay hindi basta-basta na lamang sa pamamagitan ng simpleng kahilingan o presyon ng publiko. Sa ilalim ng Section 11 ng AMLA na inamindahan ng 10167 ay maaaring magsiyasat o magsori sa AMLAC ng partikular na deposito sa bangko. Sa bangko lamang kung may utos mula sa isang may sapat na jurisdiksyong hukuman batay sa isang ex parte na aplikasyon. Maliban sa mga limitadong pagkakataong malinaw na pinahintulutan ng batas. Ang parehong probisyon ay nangangailangan din ng pagsunod sa Artikulo 3 at Section 2 at 3 ng Konstitusyon na nagprotekta laban sa hindi makatwirang paghalughug at pagsamsam at pagtataguyod ng pagiging pribado ng, ulitin na natin, AMLAC ay partikular deposito bangko lamang kung may utos mula sa sapat na jurisdiksyon na hukuman batay sa ex parte. Ang pangailangan ng pagsundot ng Article 3 Konstitusyon laban sa hindi makatwirang paghalughog sa pagsamsam at pribado. May tama nga. Ang Article 3 sa mga Section 2 at 3 ay konstitusyon na pagprotekta laban sa hindi makatwirang paghalughog. Tama, pagsamsam at pagtaguyod ng pagiging pribado, o ito na, tuloy na, ng komunikasyon at korespondensya. Bukod dito, ang Section 2, 1405 ay nagdeklara na ang mga deposito sa bangko ay may ganap na confidential na kalikasan maliban lamang sa mga tiyak na eksepsyong itinatadhana ng batas. Ayan na. Paano yan? Nahalughog na po. Ibinulatlat na po ng AMLAC diyan sa Committee on Justice ang mga bank transaction ni Vice President Inday Sara na di umano'y umabot ng bilyon-bilyon. Ang tanong natin sa ating mga nanonood ngayon, pwede bang magsampa ng kaso si Vice President Inday Sara sa Committee on Justice kay Luestro at sa AMLAC? Ang sagot, pwede. Kasi nilabag na po nila ang saligang batas na pagpoprotekta ng itong information, security, and confidentiality ng Section 8-A na ang tungkulin ng AMLAC ay dapat panatilihin ang proteksyon sa lahat ng mga transaksyones, mga bank records, ninuman, mga impormasyon na dapat ay hindi po basta-basta isisiwalat at isiniwalat sa publiko na ngayon ginawa na ho ni Luestro. Anak ng kagwang, makukulong ka talaga, Luestro, kasama yung AMLAC na nagpagamit din sa mga buhayang ito. Sana may magsampa ng kaso. Sana magsampa si Attorney Torion dito nang wag ng pamarisan itong mga abusadong kongresista at ng baboy na executive director ng AMLAC. Putang ina. Kung hindi kayo maparusahan ngayon, dahil under Marcos admin, ilang taon na lang maging presidente na si Inday Sara at lahat kayo makukulong sa bilangguan. Tandaan ninyo, there will be a day of reckoning. Ang Duterte hindi matitinag at hindi magpapatinag. Tatag lang.
Paggising sa umaga, tanghali at gabi, nakikita ko ang post niya, ang hapdi. Paano nga ba to? Di ako makatanggi. Watch ko na lang at isipin ng mabuti. Bisdak Pilipinas. Bisdak, tinig ng katotohanan. Sa bawat vlog may laban sa kasinungalingan. Mulat ang mata, gising ang masa. Bisdak Pilipinas, para sa bayan, gumigising sa diwa. Sa likod ng kamera, tapang ang dala, walang sinasanto kung mali ang gawa. Hinay-hinay, pero palaban. Boses ng tao sa digital na labanan. Bisdak, tinig ng katotohanan. Sa bawat vlog may laban sa kasinungalingan. Mulat ang mata, gising ang masa. Bisdak Pilipinas, para sa bayan, gumigising sa diwa. Hindi artista, hindi politiko, pero ang katotohanan, sigaw niya ay buo. Sa YouTube o Facebook man siya makita, may aral ka pa rin, may uri sa bawat salita. Bisdak, gising sa katotohanan. Di lang kwento, kundi panawagan. Sa bawat Pilipinong naghahanap ng liwanag. Bisdak Pilipinas, kasama sa pagbangon ng bayan. Bisdak Pilipinas, boses ng masa. ilog mo, may pag-asa.